Lingering Ghost, the shocking true story of a tragic death at a bar. Doll shares another chilling tale. Following my previous story 284, you might recall I'm a singer at a bar in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This story, however, is about something eerie that happened at a restaurant where I regularly perform. I heard it from a close friend and straight from the girlfriend of the deceased. Here's what happened. Ben and Amy, names changed, were employees at the restaurant where I sing. They were a couple. Amy worked as a hostess, while Ben was a bartender. The restaurant has two locations, one in Myrtle Beach and another in Charleston. Ben and Amy usually worked at the Charleston branch, but occasionally helped out at Myrtle Beach. For a while, Ben stopped showing up at work. One day, while I was at the restaurant, as usual, I overheard staff whispering that Ben had hanged himself after a fight with Amy. Apparently, Amy had left town and cut off all contact. Looking back, the night before his death, Ben had been drinking heavily until dawn. He posted on Facebook, "Drinking tonight." His sister commented, "All you do is drink. Take care of yourself." Ben replied, "This is my last night drinking. Once I'm gone, I won't be drinking anymore." That post was made on a Tuesday night, and Ben took his life early the next morning. We know the timing because he tried calling a friend right before, but the friend didn't pick up. No one knew Ben had hanged himself in the bathroom of his apartment. Rewinding a bit, when Ben stopped coming to work, the restaurant owner tried calling him, but he didn't answer. Someone went to his apartment and saw his motorcycle parked outside, but the door was locked. Amy tried calling him too, but he didn't pick up. She visited his place, knocked, and got no response, though his bike was still there. A few days later, 3 or 4 coworkers went to check on him. They didn't know which room on the 4th floor was his, so they walked around calling, "Ben, Ben, Ben." As they called out, they suddenly heard a loud click from a door nearby, like someone unlocking it. Everyone froze. The door creaked open slightly, but it was chained from the inside, so they couldn't enter. Peering in, they saw no one, just an empty room with a foul smell wafting out. They left, unable to do anything. Days later, the smell in the apartment building grew worse, spreading from the 4th floor down to the 1st. The landlord, alarmed, called the local fire department. They broke into the apartment and found a man who had hanged himself in the bathroom, tied to the exhaust fan. He was shirtless, wearing only boxers, and sitting on the toilet. Ben was tall and broad, and his body, bloated after days, blocked the door. From noon to 5 p.m., they couldn't get in. Finally, they lit incense, said they were taking him home, and managed to break through. Ben had died on Tuesday in Vesti, but his body wasn't found until the following Monday. Before his body was discovered, no one in the building knew he was dead. Neighbors reported hearing strange noises at night, like someone doing laundry or moving things around. Others swore they saw Ben walking to the corner store to buy snacks. A local food truck vendor even said Ben came by to buy food, but didn't say a word when spoken to. When word got out that Ben had been dead since Tuesday, everyone was horrified. Even after his body was removed, strange things continued. The building's janitor saw Ben sitting on the stairs, crying, every night. At first, she was too scared to work late or early shifts. Others reported hearing footsteps in his room or seeing him sitting on a bench at the restaurant, staring at his phone in the dark. When the lights were turned on, no one was there. My bandmates, unaware of Ben's death at the time, saw him at the bar one night while setting up for a song. They even chatted with him like normal. A few days later, they drove by his apartment and saw emergency vehicles and a crowd. At the Charleston location, the manager asked one of my bandmates, "Emma, have you heard? Ben's dead." Emma was shocked, saying, "What? I just saw him at the bar a couple of nights ago." The manager replied, "He's been dead for a week." They found his body Monday. The whole band was stunned. They'd all seen and talked to him that night. Amy, Ben's girlfriend, felt his presence constantly after his death. She couldn't sleep without dreaming of him. And strange things happened when she spoke about him, like lights flickering or objects falling. Eventually, everyone pitched in to hold a memorial service for Ben. Amy gave away his belongings: TV, fridge, wardrobe, but no one wanted them. A maintenance worker from the building took them, and the landlord let him live in Ben's apartment rent-free to ease tenants' fears. The building had nearly emptied out after the incident, with only a few first-floor residents remaining. Things have settled down since then. Ben's sister performed a ceremony to guide his spirit back home to Columbia, South Carolina. This all happened about 5 or 6 years ago. May Ben rest in peace, and thank you to Amy for allowing me to share this story.